Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we'll meet an organization who helps high schoolers interested in a career in the trades. We'll also meet a local toy company whose unique characters help spark imagination. But first, Super Bowl champion Romen Oben is giving back to the game and the region that has given him so much. He joins us now to talk about his work with the NFL and its New York and New Jersey alumni community. Hi, Romen.
How's it going?
Well, I am so happy to be joined here with you today. I have known you for many years through our work together with the New York Giants, but I'm so happy to see how you've parlayed everything you accomplished on the field and in broadcasting into being such an advocate for the game that we both love so much. So tell us about what you do with the NFL.
So now I'm currently Vice President of Football Development at the National Football League. I came in the league office the beginning of 2015 as Director of Player Health and Safety, where we were focusing on, obviously the youth football narrative, the health and safety concerns. And now we've kind of grown into like football participation, working with all 32 clubs, including the Giants, obviously, and about what is their youth and community strategies, and all the way up until like college outreach. So I do a lot really in the football operations department on the National Football League. So it's been a great ride. I love what I do. I love going to visit different teams, anything that has to do with youth, high school, college outreach, things that you see on national television. Obviously the Pro Bowl had an NFL flag component. All those things are things I'm responsible for.
That's a lot. That's a lot that you just named. How do you make time for all of this?
Well, you just really have to prioritize. This is it's a complex work environment, but you have to just make sure you're prioritizing throughout the year. And sometimes you've got to go through an entire cycle. So let's say, for example, when the season ends, it's Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, Combine, Draft. You've got some summer activations. You got a Hall of Fame kickoff in season. Then you're back all over again. So it took me about a year to really get on pace with everything, but it's been fine. And I love what I do. You got great people. They're always dealing with a lot of different issues, but it's good to be making a difference and also obviously being in a corporate setting.
What are some of the issues that you're dealing with? I know a lot of parents are maybe a little bit apprehensive getting their sons into football because of head injuries and everything that's been dominating the news over the years, but what do you say to that?
Well, what we do is we share best practices. It's a different game now in 2022, 2023 and beyond than the game that I played, obviously as a pro and then in high school. So equipment's better, technology's better. There's just a lot of things that are being done to improve the game. It's more space football now, honestly, and it's not the 3 yards in a cloud of dust that I grew up on. So, they say when you know better, you do better. And so I think it's a better game than was played, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And then the rules have changed too. So I think the game is in better shape now than it's ever been. And I think every family has to make the decision wherever little Johnny wants to play football or little Sarah. I mean, you're seeing a lot more girls participate in the game now. Flag is a priority. So all those things, we just try to make sure we're communicating about where the game is going so that it removes some of the fear and anxiety about tackle football per se.
Well, you are a father of 2 outstanding football players. Come on, I want you to brag a little bit about them here.
I have 2 sons that are student athletes now. My older son, RJ, he'll be a redshirt junior at Duke, led the team in sacks last year. Wants to look towards duplicating that this year with the new head coach, Mike Elko. And then my younger son, was just dropped off in college. He's going to go play for Purdue, again, student athletes. And they're good students too. I mean, RJ's an econ major, Andre's going to major in finance and business. So with kids, parents, I say that, you can get them to the bus stop on time, but at some point, you got to they have to buy in on their own. So I'm glad the kids really bought in and they love to do something that they want to do. I was a student athlete in college, obviously, and I think there's nothing better than just representing your school, representing the university on the field, and then being a great student in the classroom and a great person in the community.
Well, that lays the groundwork, right? Because look at everything that you've been able to accomplish as a Super Bowl champion into such a great corporate career, and that's because you had that foundation, and that's what your sons will have, and I hope many other student athletes will have.
Yeah, I always say that I'm serving a game that gave me more than I could ever give back, whether it's a free scholarship to college and some financial stability, obviously. But it's great to just continue to serve the game now in this capacity.
So besides what you're doing at NFL corporate, you're very involved in the New York, New Jersey alumni network. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been vice president of New York, New Jersey NFL alumni chapter since 2018. I was vice president under Bart Oates for about 3 years before that. And it's really about just galvanizing the community. You know, the mantra is care for the kids, care for your own. And just we like to, you know, my generation of recently retired, I like to say recently retired alumni. You know, we're all like in our 40s, like Amani Toomer, Sean O'Hara. A lot of guys are doing a lot of great things. Obviously, there's the older generation. Bart Oates and some of those guys that played the 86-90 team. And it's New York, New Jersey, so it's Giants, Jets, obviously. And some guys are from New Jersey that just moved back home that didn't play for either of these teams. And then you've got the recently retired guys like, you know, the Victor Cruz and those kind of guys that are in their 30s that are still want to serve the community. A lot of them have their own charities and things like that. But we just try to work together and do things like this golf tournament that's coming up.
Yeah, well, you led right into my next question. So June 27th, we're going to be at Upper Montclair Country Club with the NFL alumni chapter benefiting St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. Tell us about your involvement with St. Joe's, because I know that's a cause near and dear to your heart as well.
Yeah, I think the marriage makes so much sense for a lot of reasons. And one, you know, the Patterson community was always important to me when I played for the Giants. You know, I live in Montclair, which is right down the road on Valley. I can get to the hospital in like 15 minutes. They do a lot in the Patterson community, obviously Wayne as well. And I think it was just great to be involved with them. And then when we talked about putting this golf tournament together last year, because this will be the second one, and then obviously they're a major beneficiary, they sell the sponsors and get all the community folks together that support the hospital. And then I help communicate to the guys to make sure there's a former player in every foursome. So about 37, 38 players participated last year. Yeah, guys, O'Hara was there, you know, Monty Toomer, different guys, OJ Anderson, Stephen Baker. So, you know, some of your usual suspects and former Giants. And then I think this year we might try to get some former basketball guys, local celebrities. And again, it's a great community event. I'm looking forward to doing it a second year and looking forward to just growing the platform.
What other initiatives does the chapter support?
We just had our annual meeting, so we support things that are important to the players. So it's health and wellness. We support all of our local charities. So there's a lot of local charities in different parts of New Jersey that we support. We're just getting back to some of the more in-person stuff. So a lot of our meetings have been on Zoom, and obviously in this area, people live all over, whether it's Central Jersey, over the bridge, and into Manhattan, and to the boroughs. So we just try to make sure those meetings that are happening once a month, we're just informing them, and then guys give us more feedback about what's important to them as well. But the golf tournament is really the big anchor property, if you will, that we do every year. And then we do little engagements throughout the year.
You do so much. Again, I don't know how you do all of this, and you have a beautiful wife at home who's equally as busy. So you're like family goals.
Yeah, no, we're definitely a football family and a community-minded family. And shout out to Linda, my wife, who's probably home right now. But it's great. I think you just have to have the right amount of support and just be aligned with people that believe in the same things that you do. And I think you and I have known each other for a long time. I think we believe in the same things. And I think family, community, all those things are great, and even greater if you could do them through football.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such an amazing game. And I hope it continues to grow and evolve. And I mean, this year games are going to be played for the first time in Germany.
Yeah, Germany, you still got the London games, returning to Mexico as well. You're seeing just the international growth and globalization of the game. You're seeing some of the DMAs that were assigned to teams that have international brand and reach. And I'll actually be in Africa, in Ghana, the week before the tournament, doing an international camp in Africa. So getting a lot of players. OC Mayor is heavily involved. He's like the global brand ambassador for the NFL. He lives in London now. And so it's great. Definitely a lot of travel, but I'm looking forward to it.
I did not know about that Africa trip. That is amazing. And I bet you're going to scout a lot of talent down there.
Well, you just, like most foreign countries, you don't have I was born in Africa, so is OC Miori, came here, went to school in Alabama. You still have to come and play in the traditional American football at a college, but you have a lot of great athletes. It's definitely worked in basketball overseas. Basketball is more globally competitive, but I think we're starting to get there in football, because you do have people in different countries that have the size. I see the guys in Europe that are safety linebacker size. They played rugby most of their lives. They just don't know the football part of it, and then they can learn that in college. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, where can people find out more about you and all of your amazing work?
You can definitely follow me on Twitter or Instagram. It's R_Oben. I'm always posting things about local events, about NFL alumni. And so that's where I usually am. I think we've gone away from the just traditional websites, and it's all about social now. So I've had to keep up with the times, and so my kids don't think I'm an old man. So definitely Twitter and Instagram R_Oben, and I'll always post things and put things in the link as well.
Well, I'm so happy that we got to see each other after a 2-year hiatus when we went on the St. Joseph's Children's Hospital tour. And I will see you June 27th at Upper Montclair Country Club. Can't wait.
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Rowan. With so many career paths to choose from, more and more high school students are realizing that college may not be for them. Joining us now to talk about trade careers is the president of Associated Builders and Contractors, Samantha DeAlmeida. Samantha, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Lisa. So happy to be here today.
Well, let's dive right in. What interest are you seeing from high school students about a career in the trades?
We're seeing a ton of interest. Really, interest is continuing to grow day by day, especially now that school's ending. With college debt being such a hot topic in the media and in politics, we're seeing many young people and their parents warming up to the idea of them entering the trades. For a long time, the trades have been stigmatized, and it wasn't always looked at as a career path where you can make great money, you can support your family, you can be an entrepreneur. And really that's the case. So we brand our apprenticeship program as the other 4-year degree, and it couldn't be more truthful in that sense. You know, if a regular traditional college career path is not for you, there are other options where you can be successful as well.
Absolutely, and I come from a long line of tradesmen, and I know that to be the case. Exactly what you're saying, you could definitely be successful. Talk about the program and what it offers.
Sure. So here at ABC New Jersey, the Associated Builders and Contractors, we developed an apprenticeship program back in 2019. Of course, then the pandemic hit and things slowed down quite a bit. However, we have a very robust program where we offer 17 trades and service the entire state. So we have training facilities throughout the state that we utilize with our members. And really, this is a wonderful opportunity for anybody that's looking for a career in the trades, because you can earn while you learn. So you're doing classes in the evenings, but you're working all day with one of our members and getting that hands-on experience. So you're essentially making a living and a career for yourself while you're going to school.
So you're offering support for people to learn across 17 different trades. What are they?
We have many. I could rattle off just a few for you. We have carpentry, construction craft labor, plumbing, sheet metal. We have heavy equipment operators, which tends to be a very popular one. Electricians, that's probably our most, the trade that everybody's most interested in at the moment. Everybody wants to be an electrician nowadays.
Now, is this a good stepping stone to get into a union, or are you pushing people away from the unions to be their own boss?
So we're not pushing people away from unions. All of our members are non-union contractors. Some have left unions, some have never been in a union. Some work, very well with the unions. I would never steer somebody away from going into a union if that's the career path that they choose. However, there are other options available to them. 78% of the construction workforce in New Jersey is non-union. So there is a tremendous amount of work available. And I have 1,200 members all looking to hire and house apprentices.
Well, I was just going to say, if somebody watching owns a construction company, an electrical company, how can they get in touch with you to hire some of your talent?
So the first thing that they would have to do is become a member of ABC New Jersey, and we offer many benefits to our membership. The Apprenticeship Education Trust Fund is a separate entity, but in order to access that, you have to be a member of ABC. So I would invite them to check out our website at www.abcnjc.org. And then there's a contact us form on there, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that they may have. If they're a public works contractor in the state, they have to be involved with an apprenticeship program, whether that's union or an intermediary such as us. So I would invite them to take a look at our program and see the exciting opportunities that we offer.
And the trades, it's such a safe industry to go into. Electricians, carpenters. Look at what happened during COVID. Their work didn't stop. Their work is not going to be replaced. So talk about that and the job security you have in the trades.
There is probably no other industry that continued to work the way that construction did during COVID. We had many of our members on their job sites deemed essential. And really, it can be a solitary workplace, because if you're working on, in a crane, for instance, or in a piece of heavy equipment, you're not necessarily with somebody in there with you. So it stood the test of a pandemic. You're always going to need somebody to help you with your electrical work. You're always going to need somebody to help you with your toilet if that malfunctions. And I think it's being seen now with an older generation starting to retire and not enough young people coming in, and kind of a gap there, that there's such a need for talent. And really the opportunities are endless in terms of hiring and the career paths for these people.
What demographics are you seeing turning to the trades? Are women turning to a career as a contractor?
So we're working on that. We have quite a bit of an uptick of women, specifically in New Jersey, getting involved in the trades, which I think is wonderful. One thing that we're focusing on is talking to girls younger and younger, specifically middle school. This way, when they maybe get wood shop, or they get an opportunity to, learn about construction in some form, it's not completely foreign to them, and they can see themselves possibly having a career path that involves the trades. So we think it's super critical that we expose them at a younger age than just in high school. And that goes for the boys too. It's really, I think, paramount that as an industry, as the construction industry, we are inclusive. We need to be bringing in, more minorities, more women, the LGBTQ community. I think we need to do more outreach. And that's what we're trying to do here at ABC. We're partnering with organizations like the African American Chamber of Commerce. We're working on a partnership with the Pride Chamber, trying to do more so that we have opportunities to get people involved that may not have thought that this was a career path for them.
Well, I want to talk about your career path. You were named president of the ABC last year. Reflect on your time.
Oh, it's been a whirlwind. I was named president last April, and it feels like both a blink of an eye and that I've been here for 30 years. But nonetheless, we've gotten a tremendous amount done. I've tripled the amount of staff that I have. Very fortunate to have, a great crew surrounding me. And we've increased the number of trades that we offered. When I came on board, I think we had 12 trades that we were offering at the time. So we've increased by 5, which is exciting. And we've increased the number of apprentices that we're currently servicing. So I couldn't be happier. Our membership continues to grow. We're really thriving. And I'm very fortunate and thankful for my board to have named a 32-year-old woman that comes from a healthcare background president of a construction organization.
Wait, so how did that happen? How did you make that pivot?
So I was a healthcare lobbyist. Previous to COVID, I had worked for organizations like the New Jersey Hospital Association, the American Cancer Society. I got laid off due to COVID and wound up taking a job with ABC doing government affairs. And when a leadership position came up, they asked me if I wanted to take on the role. And I kind of joked and I was like, yeah, sure. In the interim, while you do a search. And they were like, no, we want you to do the role. And I was completely humbled, but decided to, give it a shot, and it's been a wild success.
Well, it certainly seems like it, and congratulations on getting so much done in such a short amount of time. One more time, where can people find out more about you and ABC?
Sure. So you'll want to visit our website, www.abcnjc.org.
Great. Samantha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Inklings are bright, colorful, and unique plush toys and books that spark a child's imagination. Co-creator Aimee Danchise joins us now to talk about this one-of-a-kind children's line. Aimee Danchise, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to know all about these colorful, so cute, amazing creatures that you've created.
So thank you so much again for having me. I created Inklings with my best friend and business partner, Lex, and we create quirky, colorful infant novels and toys based on imaginary friends.
How did the idea for Inklings Baby come to be?
Well, my business partner, Lex, had a lot of imaginary friends growing up as a kid. And so she was inspired by the birth of my daughter, Evie, to kind of create a new story and world around it. And we really missed the weird, wacky shows and toys that we played with in the 80s. So we were inspired to kind of bring that message back, that it's okay to be weird and it's okay to be different. And we definitely felt that there was a hole in the marketplace for our creations.
Why did you decide to incorporate books?
We wanted to make sure that our brand had a message that we would be able to get across. So the babies in each of our infant novels, as we call them, are each from a different race, gender, and family dynamic. So the thought process there is that the baby is being read to by their parents, and then as they grow older and they start to read themselves, they have this sort of foundation and memory. And within that, they have their instant best friend that they can carry along with. I mean, I still have my stuffed animal from when I was a kid. So the goal is that it grows with them, and it also teaches them acceptance, tolerance, and diversity.
I know you're debuting a new character. Tell us all about it.
So each baby imagines their own imaginary friend to go on amazing adventures with. And from there, the stories kind of spin off. So our latest character, Rainbow Wabi, just launched yesterday for Pride. Wabi originally was white, and they fell in a rainbow river, and now they are who they were always meant to be. So again, it's an infant novel, as we call it. We're not trying to be, super intense. We're really trying to be subtle, but the message is it's okay to figure out who you are, and it's okay to be different, and we should be celebrating that.
What has the response been for Inklings?
I think a lot of the parents and really grandparents that are our Inklings fans feel that nostalgic pull from when we were kids, and we watch, colorful things and weird, creative things. And so they're drawn to that because they remember that from when we were kids in the 80s and 90s. And they also don't want to get a repeat gift. So everybody has a gray bunny or a brown teddy bear, but not everybody has Ollie the Oddball offered.
Talk about how local businesses help spur your growth.
So we did a Kickstarter in 2018 to fund our first character, Ollie. And from there, we went and sold it to obviously direct to consumer, but also through specialty stores. Shout out to our New Jersey specialty shops and toy stores that carry us. We love you. And then we created the next two characters, and we attended Toy Fair in 2020 in New York. And that's really where we met the baby buyer from Target, who put us on an end cap. And that's pretty much what launched our business.
Where are you today? Are you just sold in New Jersey? Is it nationwide, worldwide?
We're nationwide. We're not worldwide yet, but we're sold on Target.com, Masonette.com, which is one of our favorite websites, specialty stores across the country. And then we're looking to expand globally, hopefully within the next few years.
How has this toy line changed your life?
Inklings has become my life, essentially. Having kids, Evie, my daughter Evie is 5 now, and so she was the baby that inspired Inklings. That's the first infant novel Lex wrote, was about Evie and Ollie. And from there, my son Gabe's 2.5, and my extended, family and friends, my nieces and nephews, are all baby models. They're all product testers, and so it's not just my life; it's my whole family's life. We just believe in it, and we believe that parents and grandparents and really anyone that wants to enrich a child's life wants something to stand for. Like, they want to know that the brand behind it isn't just there to make a buck, but it's there to make a difference. And so there's just so many opportunities for us to help spread our message, and in the meantime, just create cool, weird, colorful characters.
Did this give you an idea to maybe support other charities or initiatives through your toys?
Initially, when we first launched, we were supporting the Red, White, and Babies, which is a military baby shower organization. So we've done that in the past, and we try to send product for some of the events that they have. But we realized that if we're really going to make an impact, and put our money and our efforts and marketing efforts as well towards it. We wanted to just focus. So that's where the Real Mama Bears is really where we're focusing because of the LGBTQ community.
Well, where can people find out more about you and to get a Rainbow Wobie and your other toys?
Sure. Obviously, we're on social media at Inklings Baby, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And then you can go to our website, inklingsbaby.com. And then really anywhere else, you type it in Google, we should come up first.
Well, you are so unique, and I love that about you and your product. And I know firsthand, babies love Inklings, the bright colors, the googly eyes, the crunchy wings. So thank you for putting out such a fun product.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so happy that you're an awesome supporter. We appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.